Oh, we're good to go.
On air. Okay. Good afternoon. I will call to order the January 18th, 2024 meeting of the Santa Barbara County Air Pollution Control District Board of Directors. Madam Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Director Nelson? Director Williams?
Here.
Director Capps?
Here.
Director Hartman?
Here.
Director Lavanino?
Here.
Director King?
Here.
Thank you. Director Clark? Director Perotti?
Here.
Director Julian?
Here.
Director Cordova?
Yeah.
Yes, I'm here.
Thank you. Director Rouse?
Here.
Director Infanti?
Here.
And Chair Patino.
Here.
We have a quorum.
At this time, please stand and join us in the board with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The first item of business is the approval of the minutes of the October 19th, 2023 meeting.
Move approval, and I second.
Any discussion?
Chair, I need to
Motion?
abstain. I wasn't there. I
Okay.
read them, but I wasn't.
Okay. Yeah. I have a motion and a second. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Director Williams?
You can still vote.
Director Capps?
Aye.
Director Hartman?
Aye.
Director Lavanino?
Aye.
Director King?
Aye.
Director Perotti?
Aye.
Director Julian?
Aye.
Director Cordova?
Aye.
Director Rouse?
Aye.
Director Infanti?
Aye.
And Chair Patino.
Aye. Next item of business is closed session. Will the clerk please read the item into the record?
Closed session, item D1, Public Employee Performance Evaluation, Government Code, Section 54957B1, Title Air Pollution Control Officer. Closed session, item D2, Conference with Labor Negotiators, Government Code, Section 5495766A, Unrepresented Employee, Air Pollution Control Officer. Agency Designated Representative, Jennifer Richardson, District Council.
Okay, we will now adjourn to closed session.
we're on here now.
Oh. Hello? There it is. Got it. Okay. We will now reconvene from closed session. Ms. Richardson, will you please report out from closed session?
Good afternoon. In closed session today, the Board of Directors considered 2 items. The board conducted a public employee performance evaluation under Government Code Section 54957B1 for the Air Pollution Control Officer, and a conference with labor negotiators under Government Code Section 54957.6A related to the unrepresented employee position of Air Pollution Control Officer. The agency designated representative is myself, District Counsel Jennifer Richardson, and the board took no reportable actions.
Thank you. Next item of business is the election of chair and vice chair for 2024. So do we have a report on, do you have a report on that at all?
I don't have a report.
Okay.
It's up to the board to designate. Historically, the vice chair has moved into the chair position, and we've also rotated between a board of supervisor rep and a city rep.
Okay.
That's historical.
Okay. So then we are, any discussion? Can I have a motion? Yes.
I just had a question about which cities haven't chaired for a while or been in line.
I don't think Guadalupe has. Guadalupe hasn't.
Okay.
So,
The city of Santa Barbara hasn't for a while either. If you look at the staff report. So I just want to say, I got to stick up for my district here.
well, can I hear a motion then? From anyone?
Well, my old district. I'll nominate Director Capps for chair and Director Aristone Julian for vice chair.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Madam Clerk, can you please take the roll?
Director Williams?
Aye.
Director Capps?
Aye.
Director Hartman?
Aye.
Director Lavanino?
Aye.
Director King?
Aye.
Director Parodi?
Aye.
Director Julian?
Aye.
Director Cordova?
Aye.
Director Rouse?
Aye.
Director Infante left the meeting, and Chair Patino.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. Now, I am the outgoing chair, so I am going to say congratulations, Chair Capps, and you can take my place.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
Okay, thank you, everybody. We will move on to item F, which is administrative items. Does any board member wish to pull any of these items? Yes, Director
May I
Hartman.
pull F10, please?
Yes, you may. Would you like it to have a separate vote?
I think it has to be read into the record, and then I would like to make a motion.
Administrative item F10, salary merit increase for Air Pollution Control Officer Erin Arlen Janae. Approve a 1 to 3% salary merit increase for Air Pollution Control Officer Erin Arlen Janae.
And Madam Chair, I would like to move that we continue this item. I think it's to March 20 or March 21st, our next meeting.
I second that.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Let's take the roll, please. Oh, any public comment on that?
We received no public comment on this item.
Okay. Thank you.
Director Williams?
Aye.
Director Capps?
Aye.
Director Hartman?
Aye.
Director Lavanino?
Aye.
Director King?
Aye.
Director Parodi?
Aye.
Director Julian?
Aye.
Director Cordova?
Aye.
Director Rouse?
Aye.
And, and Director Patino.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. Now going back to, unless any other items are being pulled? No? Seeing none, we will act on the balance of the agenda. Is there any public comment on the administrative agenda?
We received no public comment on any of the other items on the administrative agenda.
Madam Chair, I would move approval of the balance of the administrative agenda.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second.
Director Williams? Director Patino?
Aye.
Director Hartman?
Aye.
Director Lavanino?
Aye.
Director King?
Aye.
Director Perotti?
Aye.
Director Julian?
Aye.
Director Cordova?
Aye.
Thank you. Director Rouse?
Aye.
And Chair Capps.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Okay, moving right along to our director's report. Item G, please.
All right, I have a few items, just a few items I'd like to bring to your attention. First off, staff introductions. Kaylee Bonomo, an air quality specialist in our compliance division. She started with the district in July 2023. Kaylee grew up in Rock Springs, Wyoming. She attended UC Davis and majored in civil and environmental engineering. Prior to joining the district, she interned as an engineer for the California Air Resources Board for 4 years. And then most recently, she was an air quality specialist at CAPCOA, the California Air Pollution Control Officers Association. So I could tell you my fellow APCOs that have worked closely with Kaylee when she was at CAPCOA weren't too happy when we nabbed her, but we're very happy to have her. While joining the district, she works with other inspectors to investigate air quality complaints, inspect facilities to ensure permit compliance, review asbestos notifications for compliance for federal and local requirements, and also works on our prescribed burn program. On her off time, Kaylee enjoys reading science fiction and fantasy novels, playing tennis, and going on runs. So welcome, Kaylee. And then next, I have 2 interns that I'd like to introduce today. Alex Carlin. She's an intern in the compliance division. She started in June 2023. She grew up in Montclair, California, and currently a 4th year undergrad at UCSB, majoring in environmental studies with a minor in chemistry. Prior to joining the district, she worked downtown at a couple different retail jobs in Santa Barbara. And in the last 7 months since she joined our team, she's been collecting missing 2022 annual reports, conducting SpaceX boat trip report reviews, conducting inspections on backup generators and gas stations, and learning all about our compliance rules and regulations through CARB's training. On her off time, she enjoys powerlifting, watching movies, and rollerblading. Welcome. Jenny Jaimez is the next intern. She's in the planning division. She started in May 2023. She grew up in Coachella Valley and is currently a 4th year environmental studies at UCSB. Prior to joining the district, she worked at childcare and education nonprofits. At the district, her duties include coordination of the district's Purple Air low-cost sensor program, outreach and coordination in our education programs, such as Science Night at various schools. And in her off time, she loves anything arts and crafts related, sewing, crocheting, making multimedia art, and she's learning how to do pottery. Welcome aboard. It's always so fun to introduce staff. I'm just happy we have the opportunity to welcome our new hires. All right, the only other update I wanted to provide is what we've been doing recently on our Rule 210. We've been extremely busy working on rule changes. This is our district's fee rule. We have a draft rule and staff report. They were published on our website and issued notifications on November 30th, 2023. The notifications were distributed to over 2,000 permit holders and interested parties and stakeholders. On December 14th, we held a virtual public workshop. There were 10 participants in that public workshop. Following the workshop, we posted the questions and responses on our website that we received during the workshop. We also promoted office hours for any interested source to answer one-on-one questions that they might have. We were very fortunate to find an online system to book office hours. We had 1 taker. So at least it worked for 1. We now have a system that we know how to work in the future. And we asked for public comments on our draft changes by December 29th, and we also received one written comment. We held our, oh, let me back up before I go on to the advisory council. On December 14th, we were also requested to provide a presentation before the County Agricultural Advisory Council. And then in January, on the 10th of January, we met with our Community Advisory Council. That was last Wednesday. We had a very robust discussion, and we are now evaluating some of the comments and questions that came up during that CAC meeting, and in the process of rescheduling for a second CAC meeting to be held in mid-February. So our goal is to bring this to your board at your March and your May hearings. And I'll wrap it up at that point. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much for that director's report, and welcome to the new staff. Director Hartman, do you have a comment?
Yes, by one of your introductions, this question was prompted. What is APCD's role in private space launch and the pollutants that are generated from them? Because it's exciting, but those are going up at an exponential rate, and I wondered what our role is.
We have permit conditions for the aerospace industry. And we work closely, right now we're working closely with SpaceX, and we're also working with ULA on their expansion programs. So we're going through the permit completion process. And as far as CEQA, we've been working closely on our approach for CEQA, and what we're moving forward with is a preemption, federal preemption on the CEQA front.
Thank you. Do we have any public comment on the director's report?
Chair Capps, we did not receive any public comment on the director's report.
Okay, we will move on to discussion item I1. Will the clerk please read the item into the record?
Discussion item I1, appointment of APCD Executive Committee. Select 3 members of the board to serve on the APCD Executive Committee during calendar year 2024.
Historically, the executive committee has been composed of the past chair, current chair, and vice chair.
Great. Does that work? Continue. Any discussion from the board on that suggestion of keeping tradition? We're good? Okay. Any public comment on this item?
Chair Capps, we did not receive any public comment.
All right, I need a motion and a second, please.
Second, Julian.
Thank you both. Will the clerk please take a roll call vote?
Director Williams?
Aye.
Director Patino?
Aye.
Director Hartman? Director Lavanino?
Aye.
Director King?
Aye.
Director Perotti?
Aye.
Director Julian?
Aye.
Director Cordova?
Aye.
Director Rouse? And Chair Capps.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Thanks, everybody. The next item is discussion I2. Will the clerk please read that item into the record?
Discussion item I2, appointment of APCD board member to Basin-Wide Control Council. Appoint 1 board member to serve as the primary representative and 1 board member to serve as the alternate to the South Central Coast Basin-Wide Control Council during the calendar year 2024.
Director Perotti, do you want to talk about this?
I would love to stay on, but if there's anybody else that really has a burning desire, but I've been enjoying it, but I'd be willing to give it to someone that really wants to be on that.
Second that.
Who's the alternate?
Director Infante is the current alternate. And this group meets 4 times a year on a good year. And with the modifications out, with the current Brown Act situation, we meet in Santa Barbara, but we also connect in with San Luis and Ventura. So all of those representatives are able to work out of the Air District office and just connect remotely.
Am I supposed to say something?
Any other?
You're all looking at
I move status quo.
I'll second that.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for status quo, if that's okay. Okay, then will clerk please have a roll call vote.
We do have to open this item up for public
Oh,
comment.
excuse me, public comment on this item.
We did not receive any public comment on this
Okay.
item. Director Williams?
Aye.
Director Patino?
Aye.
Director Hartman? Director Lavanino? Director King?
Aye.
Director Parodi,
Aye.
Director Julian,
Aye.
Director Cordova,
Aye.
Director Rouse,
Aye.
and Chair Capps.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Okay, and my apologies. I'm going back to item H, which I inadvertently skipped, which is public comment period on general public comment. So if we have any members of the public that wish to speak on items that are not on the agenda.
Chair Capps, we did not receive any public comments.
Good to just want to make sure because I skipped over that one. So now we'll go back to I believe we're at I3.
I3.
Yes.
Discussion item I3, appointment of the APCD Hearing Board Nominating Committee. Select 5 members of the board to serve on the APCD Hearing Board Nominating Committee during calendar year 2024.
This should be not a big commitment on anyone's behalf. We do not have any hearing board members that are scheduled to be reappointed in 2024. The only time the hearing board nominating committee would meet if someone elected to sign off before their term expired. And I've included in your report who's currently on it. We have Director Williams, Parodi, Hartman, Nelson, and Patino. And these meetings, when they do occur, we try to schedule them immediately following the APCD board meeting.
Move status quo once again.
Second.
Thank you to you both. Clerk, let's have a vote.
Chair Capps, we do have to open up this
Okay,
item for
one
public
more.
comment.
I should
We
have
did-
combined them all, excuse me.
We did not receive any public comments on this item. Director Williams,
Aye.
Director Patino,
Aye.
Director Hartman, Director Lavanino, Director King,
Aye.
Director Parodi,
Aye.
Director Julian,
Aye.
Director Cordova,
Aye.
Director Rouse, and Chair Capps.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
Okay, last one here. Is item I4. If you could please read that into the record.
Discussion item I4, determine that a new district rule for gas turbines and associated duct burners is no longer necessary to satisfy Assembly Bill 617 requirements. Consider recommendations as follows. 1. Receive and file report regarding best available retrofit control technology, BARCT, for gas turbines and associated duct burners at Assembly Bill 617 industrial facilities. And 2, adopt a resolution determining that adopting a new district rule is no longer necessary to implement BARCT for gas turbines and associated duct burners because the affected Assembly Bill 617 industrial facility has requested changes to their district permit to operate to directly implement BARCT.
All right, I'm excited to be here today. This is our final AB 617 BARCT requirement to bring to your board. We had, what do you think, around 5 other actions in total, and this is it. So Tim Mitro, engineer for our planning division, will be providing the presentation today.
All right, thank you, Aaron, for the introduction. Good afternoon, members of the board. So we will be covering our Assembly Bill 617 Best Available Retrofit Control Technology, or BARCT analysis for gas turbines and duct burners. So we're going to start off with just a little bit about background on this assessment. Assembly Bill 617 was enacted in 2017 to provide for community air protection. And one of the critical components of AB 617 is to require BARCT at the largest industrial facilities within California, which are the facilities that are subject to the California Cap and Trade regulation. As shown on the map, there are 6 of these facilities within Santa Barbara County, and they've previously emitted more than 25,000 metric tons of greenhouse gases in a single year. AB 617 requires these 6 facilities within the county to be evaluated for BARCT, requiring the maximum emission reduction achievable for criteria air pollutants after taking into account environmental and economic impacts. So Aaron mentioned this is the last measure we have up on this slide, these 5 other measures that we've already evaluated in prior proceedings. We've already done the evaluations for boilers, steam generators, and process heaters, particulate matter control devices, reciprocating internal combustion engines, and miscellaneous combustion units. But today's presentation is focused on the final one, stationary gas turbines and associated duct burners. So for this analysis, we're mainly going to be looking at ExxonMobil's oil and gas plant at Las Flores Canyon. This facility has a 49 megawatt combined cycle cogeneration power plant, which consists of a large gas turbine and an associated duct burner. This unit was originally permitted in 1987, with it being fully installed by 1993. And during the initial permitting process, the equipment was required to be evaluated for best available control technology, or BACT. The BACT evaluation at the time required state-of-the-art emission controls, which we'll be discussing more on the upcoming slides. And as many of you are aware, the facility has been shut in and maintained in a preserved state until a permitted means of transporting the oil is identified. However, the operating permit for the facility remains active, and so that's why the district is still required to perform this BART evaluation. The next two slides are going to focus on the equipment covered in the analysis. Up on the screen, we have an example picture of a gas turbine. Turbines are essentially composed of three major components: the compressor, the combustor, and the power turbine. So the compressor section will be drawing in the air. The air will then be directed to the central combustor, where fuel is introduced and burned. And then the hot gases from the combustor are directed to the power turbine, where the gases expand and the blades spin, creating the mechanical shaft power. Turbines are often coupled to a generator set to create electricity, and gas turbines also create a lot of heat from this combustion process. And rather than wasting the heat can be effectively recovered and used in a heat recovery steam generator. The heat recovery steam generator creates high-pressure superheated steam that is used to generate additional electricity in a steam turbine, and it also creates low-pressure steam that is used for other process heating at the facility. So in this diagram on the screen, the gas turbine exhaust comes in from the left side, and then it enters the dark red section where the duct burner is located. The duct burner combusts additional fuel to maintain the necessary heat for both the steam turbine and process heating. And then as for the air emission controls, that's the next section coming up, where both the emissions from the gas turbine and duct burner have their emissions controlled by the Selective Catalytic Reduction, or SCR system. This system works by having ammonia injected into the exhaust gases through an ammonia injection grid, and then this ammonia and exhaust gas mixture reaches the catalyst, where the NOx emissions are effectively converted into nitrogen gas and water vapor. As a final step, the exhaust gases are routed to the exhaust stack, where a continuous emission monitoring system, or CEMS, is installed to record the final emission concentration. As I mentioned earlier, the power plant at Las Flores Canyon is already equipped with emission controls. It has steam injection on the gas turbine and a selective catalytic reduction system to reduce NOx emissions. With these controls in place, the power plant has permit limits between 7 to 8 parts per million of NOx, and it typically operates between 4 to 5 parts per million, as verified by the facility's continuous emission monitoring system. For this project, district staff performed an in-depth BART analysis to see if additional controls or adjustments could be made to feasibly reduce the air emissions. The BART analysis is attached to the board package, and it shows that the BART emission standard is 2.0 parts per million for this type of unit. This standard is based on determinations made by the South Coast Air Quality Management District back in 2019. And to meet this lower limit, the facility will have to retrofit their existing air pollution control system. Over the last 30 years since the power plant was first installed, there have been improvements in the designs and capabilities of these SCR systems, and so a retrofit would allow the system to consistently achieve higher control efficiencies. So reaching the BART standard of 2.0 ppm NOx is technically feasible, but we also need to assess if it is economically feasible, which is determined by the cost effectiveness evaluation. District staff compiled the estimated costs for a scenario based on data from both the South Coast Air Quality Management District and from ExxonMobil, and this scenario encompasses retrofitting the SCR system with the possibility of increasing the steam injection rate. Under this scenario, the capital and installation costs are estimated to be around $3.6 million, with the annual operating costs around $250,000 per year for the SCR system. The increased utility cost would only be realized if additional steam injection is needed. And overall, this project would result in around 19 tons per year of NOx reductions if the facility is operating near its baseline, which would have a ultimate cost effectiveness value range between $30,000 to $56,000 per ton of NOx reduced, which is considered cost effective. So over the last year, district staff met with ExxonMobil to discuss the BART analysis, and similar to a lot of our other BART projects, Exxon chose to submit 2 permit applications to incorporate the BART emission standards directly into their operating permit. These permits are attached to your board package, and they result in enforceable conditions that satisfy the Assembly Bill 617 mandate. And the last point I'd like to mention is that the equipment modifications to the air pollution control system have not been performed yet, but the permits require the retrofits to be implemented prior to the facility recommencing operations. So with ExxonMobil accepting enforceable permit conditions, staff affirms that it is no longer necessary to adopt a new rule. The staff recommendation is to adopt the attached resolution, concluding that a new district rule for gas turbines and associated duct burners is no longer necessary. And for this slide, I just wanted to present some of the milestones for the project. We touched on most of these topics already, but I wanted to point out that we had a Community Advisory Council meeting on November 2nd, where the CAC members and the public had an opportunity to comment on the draft analysis and ask questions. And the final bullet point is that if the board approves staff's recommendation, the BART analysis would be forwarded to the California Air Resources Board and posted on their website to make sure that the analysis is readily available to other air districts and communities within California. And that wraps up my presentation.
Thank you, Mr. Maestro, for the presentation. Any questions or discussion from the board? Okay, seeing none, I'm going to ask for any public comment on this item.
Chair Caps, we do have a public comment. Patrice Surmeyer.
Okay. Welcome.
Good afternoon. My name is Patrice Surmeyer. I'm with ExxonMobil. I wanted to thank the APCD staff for their work on this project. Our team really appreciated the collaborative and professional way we work together towards compliance with this important state law. So thank you.
Excellent. Thanks so much for that comment. Seeing none, no more public comment, I believe, online, et cetera. Can we get a motion and a second?
Move staff recommendation.
I'll second that.
Will the clerk please take a roll call?
I'm sorry, who was the second?
Director Brody?
Brody. Thank you. Director Williams? Aye. Director Patino?
Aye.
Director Hartman?
Aye.
Director Lavanino? Aye. Director King?
Aye.
Director Parodi?
Aye.
Director Julian?
Aye.
Director Cordova?
Aye.
Director Rouse? Oh, he left, I'm sorry. And Chair Caps.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimously.
All right, I'd just like to announce that this meeting will be rebroadcast on Sunday, January 21st at 5 p.m. And with that, I move to item K, adjournment. Thanks, everybody. It's adjourned here at 2:25.
Thank you.
Thanks for the hard work.